Hey guys, Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com, bringing you my first impressions plus on-feet video of the brand new indoor and turf Nike MagistaX Proximo in the total orange colorway. Now inside the box they do include a string bag to go along with the shoes themselves. The string bag is black in color with black strings. It features an orange Nike swoosh on one side and your orange Nike football branding on the other. Other than that, all you're going to find inside the box, as you guys can see, are the shoes themselves. So we'll get these guys out of the box really quickly and we'll take a closer look at both the indoor as well as the turf variations of the MagistaX Proximo. Now yesterday I made a video on the MagistaX Proximo Street, which is a significantly different variation of the MagistaX Proximo in comparison to this model that we're going to be highlighting in today's video. So if you missed that video on the Proximo Street, I'll leave an annotation on screen. Strongly recommend that you check it out because this is not two different colorway releases, it's actually two different versions of the shoe. So in today's video we're going to be highlighting, of course, the colorway itself, taking a closer look at all the details, as well as talking tech specs. So if you want to learn a little bit more about the overall performance of the MagistaX Proximo, please stick around and hopefully you will learn some things. With that being said, if you're interested in a pair of these for yourself, they retail for $150 US. You can check out the review page on my website. It's the first link down below in the description, and on that page you will find buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes where you will be able to pick these up below their normal $150 US retail price. So again, if you're interested in a pair, first link down below in the description, go ahead and check it out. And with that being said, let's get right into the review. As far as performance is concerned, what you need to know regarding the MagistaX Proximo versus the Proximo Street, which is kind of its own unique thing, is that the regular Proximo is more or less the standard upper that you would get with a regular pair of Magista Obras on an indoor or turf base. So if you're looking for something that's as close to the outdoor version of the Magista Obra as possible, the regular Proximo is what you want, not the Proximo Street, which, like I said, kind of its own thing. So as you guys can see, this particular colorway is the exact same as the recent Intense Heat colorway release of the Magista Obra, with some minor differences, which we'll talk about a little bit later in the video. It features a more structured Flyknit construction running through the main areas of the foot. You have your Brio cables that run from the base of the sole into the lacing system, so when you do pull the laces tight, you get that nice, snug, secure sensation. They do have, of course, the clear layer of Nike skin on top, with the added benefit of ACC all conditions control, acting as your wet control element, which I'm not sure is quite as important in the form of an indoor or turf shoe. You do, of course, have that mid-cut dynamic fit collar design with a more elasticated Flyknit material in this area of the shoe, as well as through the middle where the laces are positioned. And like I said, it's essentially the same upper that you would get with a standard pair of Magista Obras, with the one exception, the one addition, I should say, being this added layer of this sandpaper-like texturing material running through the forefoot and toe box area. It's there just to increase the overall durability and longevity of the shoe. This is an area of the actual upper that could take a little bit more abuse, being that this is an indoor or turf model, so they added that extra layer of reinforcement. It's also going to strengthen the bond between the upper and the sole plate, and you can tell that they've taken durability into consideration, as you do have a very hard, solid, and fairly high rubber lip going all the way around the forefoot and toe box area. So as far as durability and longevity is concerned, I don't foresee any major issues with the MagistaX Proximo, or even the Proximo Street for that matter. And if you are planning on buying these as street soccer shoes, I honestly do feel that the Proximo Street may be a little bit more durable just because of that leather covering on top of the Nike skin upper. But either way, you shouldn't run into too many issues as long as you're not dragging your feet or scraping the upper against concrete or something like that. As far as the inside of the shoe is concerned, it does have a synthetic leather liner, just like a standard pair of Magista Obras. Insole is fully removable, and it's actually the same insole you get with the Obras as well. Mesh liner on top, perforations throughout, one single layer of foam, nothing special, but it does get the job done. And then moving on to the outsole, you have their Lunar Lawn cushioning system, which is kind of an evolution of what we got from the Lunar Gato 2 as part of the FC 24/7 line. Lunar Lawn foam is something you see on a lot of their high-end running shoes, high-end footwear in general from Nike. It's a low-profile, very responsive type of foam that provides a good amount of impact protection, but at the same time, it doesn't feel mushy when you wear it. It'll be a little bit firm at first, but once you get some break-in time, it feels more and more cushioned, and like I said, has a nice responsive feel in comparison to, for example, the Elastico Superfly or the new Mercurial X line. Those shoes feature a much more low-profile cushioning system than what you're going to find from the MagistaX models. So if you want some more impact protection, if you just want more padding under your feet in general. This is going to provide that, whereas, like I said, the Mercurial X line or the Elastico line pretty much has no extra underfoot cushioning whatsoever other than what you get from the insole itself. And that Lunar Lawn midsole, as you guys can see, runs the entire length of the shoe with a little bit of rubber covering it here around the forefoot and toe box area. With that being said, moving on, you have the outsoles. This is the indoor variation. This is the turf variation. And as you guys can see, they really didn't reinvent the wheel here. They kind of just carried over the exact same sole patterns or stud patterns, whatever you want to call them, from the Elastico line. So this is pretty similar to the Elastico Superfly Indoor, and this is pretty similar to the Elastico Superfly Turf model. Again, I've used those shoes. They both perform pretty well on indoor court playing surfaces. This is a pretty good traction pattern. If the floor is dusty, you will find yourself needing to wipe the bottom of the shoe pretty frequently in order to maintain traction, but that's pretty much the case with 99% of the indoor models out there. And as far as using these on turf or artificial grass, on turf they work great. On artificial grass, it's a more aggressive than average turf stud pattern, so it will work well. It won't be quite as aggressive as a pair of AG shoes from Nike, but with that being said, the performance, whether you need an indoor shoe or a turf shoe, is going to be really, really good with either of these two variations. So again, if you're interested in something that's going to be as close as possible to a standard pair of Magista Obras, you want the MagistaX Proximo and not the MagistaX Proximo Street. As far as weight is concerned, given that the Proximo Street actually has leather on top of the Flyknit upper, whereas the regular Proximo right here does not have that extra layer, you'd expect them to weigh a little bit less, which is what we're going to see right now in real time using this scale. We're going to weigh in both the indoor and turf versions of the shoe. Keep in mind that these are in brand new condition and both the exact same size, 9.5 US. We'll start off with the indoor version of the MagistaX Proximo, throw it on the scale, and you can see that they weigh in at 9.4 ounces, which is about 0.6 ounces less than the Proximo Street, which is the equivalent of 267 grams. So we'll change the scale back to ounces, pull those off, and throw on the turf variation, and you can see that the turf model weighs in at 9.95 ounces, which is about 0.45 ounces less than the Proximo Street in turf. And that's also the equivalent of 282 grams. So yes, the regular Proximo does weigh a little bit less than the Proximo Street. With that being said, it's not a significant amount of weight. It's not enough weight to where you're going to notice it either in hand or on feet, in my opinion. So with that being said, weight should not be the deciding factor. It really should come down to feel. If you want a more padded leather feel, the Proximo Street is probably the better option. Whereas if you want something that's going to be a little bit thinner or very, very similar, if not identical to that of the standard Magista Obra, then the regular Proximo is the way to go. As far as the colorway is concerned, as you guys can see, the Total Orange MagistaX Proximo is pretty much the exact same upper as what you're going to find on the Intense Heat Total Orange Magista Obra. The major difference obviously being the Nike swoosh. Now some websites actually do have the Persian Violet Nike swoosh on the MagistaX Proximo in their kind of online images. Those are sample variations of the shoe and not actually the final product. If you do order a pair, regardless of which picture is being shown, this is what you'll receive: a Nike swoosh with a black and gray swoosh with the same pattern that you find on the MagistaX Proximo Street. Obviously not reflective material, just not Persian Violet like what you're going to find on the Magista Obra, so please keep that in mind. Other than that, you have a total orange base for the Flyknit. You have a laser orange here on the lateral side of the shoe. It fades into kind of a pink, almost hyper punch type of color. You have a combination of Volt Yellow and Total Orange running throughout the entire upper. It could be a laser orange instead of Volt as well. Just looks more Volt to me. You have the black ring across the top, the Nike swoosh that I already pointed out, your black ACC branding, your black Magista branding, and then as you guys can see, the entire midsole and outsole is solid white with the black Nike swoosh at the bottom. Same goes for the turf variation as well. So let me know your thoughts on the overall appearance of the MagistaX Proximo. Do you think it looks a lot better than the MagistaX Proximo Street? Because that is the opinion that I seem to be hearing a lot. Let me know your opinions down below, and with that being said, let's move on to the on-feet portion of the video so we can get a better idea as to how these shoes fit and of course what the sizing is like. Alright, so here is a look at the MagistaX Proximo on feet. On my left foot I have the stock laces that come with the shoes, and on my right foot I have a pair of SR4U replacement laces in black with white dots. If you're interested in a pair of replacement laces for yourself, check out the website sr4ulaces.com. It'll be linked in the description of this video. Now in terms of how these things fit and feel on feet, they feel a lot like Magista Obras, obviously because it does have pretty much the exact same upper. That shouldn't be too surprising. It's a tighter fitting shoe, but still going to be suitable for a wide variety of foot types. Has that one piece Flyknit construction that does feel very, very natural. The mid-cut design, just like the Obras as well. And if you're coming from a pair of Magista Obras, these will feel very, very at home to you pretty much instantly from right out of the box. If you haven't worn any of the mid-cut Flyknit models from Nike before, they'll take some getting used to, but all in all, once they're broken in, it's a very, very comfortable shoe. And as far as that Lunarlon cushioning setup is concerned, it's low profile. It feels really good. It's a little bit firmer out of the box than it will be a couple hours down the line after you get some wear time in them. But all in all, very, very comfortable shoes, just not as low to the ground as what you're going to find from the Elastico or Mercurial X line. So please keep that in mind. As far as width goes, like I mentioned, they're going to be suitable for most people. It's not a particularly wide shoe, but they will fit, like I said, most foot types, as long as you don't have excessively wide feet. Also keep in mind that you're really not going to get much stretch at all out of the Flyknit upper. So the way it fits from out of the box is the way it's going to fit for its entire lifespan. As far as sizing is concerned, just like the regular Magista Obras, these run a half size small. So instead of my usual size 9, bumped it up to a 9.5, just like the Magista Obras, and the fit and the length is absolutely perfect. So if you're coming from the Obra, go with the exact same size. If you're coming from other shoe lines, I would strongly recommend going a half size up in order to achieve the best possible fit. Alright guys, so for my first impressions of the Nike MagistaX Proximo, if you've always wanted an indoor or turf variation of the Magista Obra, this is essentially what you want. It has the exact same upper as a pair of Magista Obras. You get the Lunarlon cushioning system, which is really, really nice, extremely comfortable, and of course you get great traction on both turf as well as indoor playing surfaces, depending on which variation that you go for. Again, if you guys are interested in a pair of these for yourself, check out the review page on my website. It'll be the very first link down below in the description of this video. On that review page, you will find buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes where you will be able to pick these up below their normal $150 retail price. So if you're interested in a pair, again, first link down below in the description, go ahead and check it out. If you have any questions regarding the MagistaX Proximo, leave them down below in the comment section. I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all my social media information down below in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. And as always, thanks for watching.